Is your family looking for some creative ways to keep the kids busy? Are they getting bored with their toys, starting to wonder what they can do to occupy their time? Let's talk through 4 game-changing questions that will help parents who are home with their kiddos. Well, with our kids home more, we might be looking for some creative ways to keep them busy and learning and having fun. So whether you have toddlers or teenagers at home, these 4 guiding questions can make activities last longer, and we can facilitate days worth of entertainment with stuff that we already have in our house. All right, so here's how to keep kids busy. First, pick an item in your house. Like right now, go ahead and look up from this video, look around, what's an item that you see? Keep that item in mind as we think and talk through this process, these 4 guiding questions that will help turn that item that you just saw into loads of fun and long-lasting entertainment for you. Like for starters, right now in this video, I can see a chair, I can see some canned food and an empty Kleenex box, blanket, some painter's tape, and some toilet paper tubes. I know y'all have some of those, right? So with these ordinary items in mind, what are the 4 questions we can ask to keep kids busy? So soon we're going to talk about question number 1, but let me say, if you have young kiddos, like we have a 5-year-old and 1-year-old, perhaps these are questions that parents will ask themselves to help parents come up with some entertaining things to do in these crazy times. Or if you have older kids, perhaps you write these questions down and post them so that they can be in charge of busting their own boredom by applying this mindset, these 4 questions, to what's in your house right now. Question number 1 to ask: what game or sport could I replicate using this item? Sounds simple, but there's a million different ways we can play and do some type of competition or sport or event game using regular everyday things. For example, let's take this blanket. In our house, we spread them out and we can do gymnastics on them. We might use them as a dance floor or an acting stage and have kiddos come on and perform. Or perhaps you turn the Kleenex box into putt-putt golf. I saw a modified version of this and we stuck it in our vent. Of course, you're going to want to remove it when you're finished with this game, but then you can shoot a pool ball or play a mini putt-putt into the vents. We just did it with 1, but of course, more kids, you could adjust this and make a fun game out of it for the whole family. Let's think about painter's tape, turning that into a game. Indoors, we could create a hopscotch course inside our house, especially when kids are looking for movement, and it peels up easily from carpet or a hard floor. All right, what sport or game could we use chairs for? Of course, hot lava game comes to mind, where you spread them out and the floor is lava and you go from chair to chair. That can keep kids and adults entertained for a while. All right, the canned food, how could we use it for a sport or a game? Perhaps it's weightlifting and they transform into dumbbells. And the toilet paper rolls, perhaps you collect a whole bunch and then play a bowling game using them. All right, and leave a comment below here on YouTube, down below this video, to let us know what sports and games your family is playing. All right, let's go on to question number 2. To help squash boredom, when looking at an ordinary item, ask yourself, how could we use our imagination to play pretend with this item? So, for instance, the blanket. Of course, we could be superheroes flying around, and perhaps the Kleenex boxes get turned into robots. Painter's tape, lots of ideas here, but you could create a spider web in the hallway or across the doorway. Stay tuned for a future video all about different ways to use painter's tape. That has been a favorite of Jet's for quite a while. Using your imagination with chairs. We set them up and we played church, and we also used them, of course, when we were watching our live stream church. So really using them to imagine different play scenarios can bring the chairs to life even. The canned food we could use to play store, or you could even teach budgeting to older kids, or something that incorporates canned foods and playing pretend or mock scenarios. With the toilet paper rolls, use them as binoculars or ask your kids, and I bet they can come up with some really creative ideas. Now, of course, indoor imagination is a lot of fun, but be on the lookout for a future video about ways to keep kiddos engaged outdoors as well. So when looking at your ordinary items, ask yourself question number 3. What project could I create or craft using this item? Let's take the blanket, for example. Of course, building forts is a blast for all ages, and even adults can have fun with that. Maybe with your empty Kleenex box, you make a memory box out of it and decorate it and cover it with paper and glue and scissors. Kids would have fun making a little artsy box. The chairs, create an obstacle course where you spread them all out, lay them on their side, position them in different ways, and then you have an obstacle course for the rest of the family to participate in. With the canned food, perhaps you build a pyramid or some type of sculpture. I think any age could get into this. And the toilet paper rolls, maybe you make a crafty project like a bracelet out of them, or even just a simple tower stacking contest with the extra toilet paper tubes. Before we go into the fourth question, be sure to hit the like button if you are a parent so we can support each other on this journey, and then hit subscribe so that we can be productive parents together while we keep our kiddos busy at home. Question 4 to ask about these ordinary items, how to keep them busy. Question 4 is, what action could I do with this item to serve others? Be creative as parents and encourage our kiddos to be creative with this. So thinking about the blanket, I know blanket rides are a hit in our house. I think my parents started this when I was a kid to distract me when I was left with a babysitter, and it works great. Now Jet loves to pull Gemma around, and it's a fun way to engage each other. Perhaps the Kleenex box could be used to put small toys in that can then be donated. The chairs to serve others, maybe you're going to have kids scrub and clean every little crevice on those so that you're serving others by getting them nice and sparkly clean. The painter's tape, encourage kids after they've played with it to go around and pick up crumbs around the floor or dust off the baseboards using that painter's tape to serve the family and clean up your house. To serve others with the canned food, turn it into a massage session in your living room, and your kids can massage the back of your legs or your back with the canned food. This was a hit, and I really enjoyed this. The toilet paper tubes, to serve others before recycling them, perhaps we use them as like a mini mailbox, and we put notes in them to each of our family members to leave kind words to each other. What sport or game could you use couch cushions for? I know in our house, rodeo or turning into a bucking bull is a fun activity that Jet enjoys. Perhaps some of you have nicer furniture, but this is a popular item that we don't mind playing at our house. I know Jet enjoys setting them up as a playpen or some sort of pen for animals, and then putting his sister in there to play a zookeeper or rancher so that he is well entertained. A project to create with couch cushions might be a rodeo arena. I know that's popular in our house, as I said before. Maybe the couch cushions, you get to take turns creating a really comfy, soft napping bed for somebody else. So seeing all the ideas floating around about how to educate and entertain our kids right now is probably one of my favorite parts about this crazy time. So please share this video with other parents so we can help support each other. Have a great day. Blah, blah, blah.